Hi, my name is Angela Munjone, and I chose to do my final project on formative assessment, trying to give an overview with a concentration on useful classroom strategies that students can do in your classroom. Formative assessments are tools not only used to provide feedback, but they're used to make decisions about next steps in teaching. Focus on how students can deepen their understanding and improve their achievement in the classroom. Two types of assessment, formative and summative. Formative involves class discussions, homework, ungraded quizzes, of course not limited to this, but students here will receive feedback for revision. Summative, the students will in the end receive a final grade for their work. 7 strategies of assessment: clear learning targets, give examples of strong and weak work, give descriptive feedback, teach students to self-assess and set goals to determine next steps, provide practice with feedback, and have students track, reflect, and share their learning. Clear learning targets are essential. Students need to know exactly what they should be learning and what they are expected to do with their learning. There are different levels: knowledge level, reasoning level, skill level, and product level. Students need to know what they're doing. Ways to share targets with your students: well, you could do as is. Today we're going to learn the order of operations, or convert to student-friendly language. Rephrase targets so that students don't get hung up on vocabulary, and use rubric that accurately describe what they are to do. Have students rate strong versus weak work. Have the students engage in conversations about what makes the sample strong or weak. Why did they choose to grade it that way? This will act as guided practice for the students. Have students analyze articles of student work while using a scoring rubric so that they then know how rubrics will be used with them. Have students discuss with each other why they scored the work the way they did. Later, students could offer their mistakes in class if they feel comfortable. Effective feedback. Well, feedback shapes attitudes towards learning. Acting on feedback improves the learning, not giving the feedback, and praise the effort, not the intelligence of the student. Peer feedback. When giving feedback, students will deepen their own understanding of quality. Some students are more receptive to peer feedback than they are to teacher feedback, and students realize that social interaction contributes to their learning. Self-assessment is also important. Students will achieve at higher levels without needing more instruction. Studies show students will work harder and link instruction so that students learn and perceive they are making progress. Offer feedback all the time. Ways students can self-assess: well, require them to answer questions like, how do you know your answer is correct? Use self-assessment rubrics and/or exit tickets, and have the students set reachable hard goals that specify exactly what they want to improve. Figure out where students are in their learning and what students' needs are throughout the instruction. Use a feedback loop. Use strategies that develop student capabilities based on specific learning needs, and plan time to take action. Identify learning needs. There are different ones: incomplete understanding, flaws in reasoning, or misconceptions. What are they doing? What should they be doing? What do they need to know? And how could they change what they don't know? 3 principles of learning: engage prior understandings, the essential role of factual knowledge and conceptual frameworks, and the importance of self-monitoring. These 3 things must go together. Focused instruction followed by practice with feedback. Further instruction benefits students. Students will practice and revise without grading. Gauge practice trials based on complexity. More time for more complex. Time here could be an issue in the classroom, though. The role of practice. Well, practice could be deliberate. Students know what the practice is helping them master. Teachers can provide scaffolding, giving them an answer key so that they can concentrate on strategies instead of the final answer. Track, reflect, and share. Monitor progress and adjust strategies. Students who see progress tend to persevere. Tracking also links effort with improvement. Students can keep a portfolio. They can look back on their assignments and track their growth in learning. Students can also reflect by looking back over collections of evidence, and this time requiring a written reflection before and after. Students can share their reflections with an audience, such as parents, teachers, other adults, or with peers. I hope you have gotten something out of my presentation. These are my references, and remember, formative assessment isn't the quiz, it's what happens after.